I'm so psyched to be live with all the characters behind Erin Fitz Badass. I want you to, this is just a little peek of all the voices she does, because when you go to her IMDb, you go, we have Naz and May Kanker from Ed, Ed and Eddie, Chia Satonaka and Wakaba from the Persona games, Genocide Jack and Junko from Danganronpa games, Sona and Janna, what I think are twins, from League of Legends, and then Ural from World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. Dude, that's mind-blowing. I love these chats because I get to know people so much better, and then just like I'm in awe of your talent. You're the perfect mix for gamer and voice actor fans because you freaking game. You know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, right. Arisa does that totally. Of course. Laugh.
But I don't game well. Like, don't
matter.
Don't be fooled. I'm a crap gamer, but I'm here to justify everybody who games who isn't a professional. If you like playing video games, you're a gamer. Just saying. I don't care if you're good or not because I'm crap. And also I can start I just for the first time in my life started playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like I know nothing, and the entire gaming universe is like, we will show you the way. This is the way.
So, dude, I didn't know you were Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
And so where you're right now, you're
Canadien français puis tout ça. Je parle français. Pas, I don't speak Spanish, mais un petit peu de français. Je peux plus faire.
Ouais. So, what city? Quebec?
I was a Navy brat. So my dad, I was born in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. So that's the West Coast. And as a Navy brat, I've lived all across Canada to the East Coast and back. And then I got finished with Canada and like, let's go to the States and start over there.
I had Sissy Jones on recently, and we were talking about
Sissy.
She's incredible. She was saying that we were talking about accents, and that you start with like a really heavy accent, and then you she was saying it was Russian. And then you can just say, okay, I'm going to dial it down. Tell me where you want to stop. And then that's how subtle we'll keep the accent. And she's like,
yes,
Erin is just a mastermind at this stuff.
But I'd love to take all the credit for my accent abilities. But truthfully, my father has the genetics of there's a genetic thing to be able to muscularly change your muscles to be able to hit certain accents. Because that's a muscle thing, right? So this is my theory on accents. So in Canada, it's so freaking cold, right? So we're always like, holy crap, it's cold. So you don't move your mouth because it's so cold. Yeah. And then if you think about the northern states, it's the same, yeah? So if I'm going to go to Fargo, it's just a little bit like Canada, but it's a little bit, even colder because, sometimes it gets cold. But if you're going to go to the south, it's so hot there in the south, you're not going to move. No, but you got to smile on because it's not cold, but you ain't going to move. I mean, all the sound for the southern accents all back there. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying?
So where does Russia sit?
Russia, this is very cold. So you definitely the same placement as the cold face. So everything becomes a little bit more. You're using all the muscles inside the mouth, so you don't have to use outside. Yeah. This is why everybody looks so good when they are older in Russia, because they don't have to use these muscles. They don't get the wrinkles. They look gorgeous.
The wrinkles, they do look gorgeous. And we want you to say, I want to hug you like big fuzzy Siberian bear.
I want to hug you like big fuzzy Siberian bear.
There we go. What was the first inkling of you going, I'm good at voices and I think I'm going to pursue this as a living?
Well, I've always been a character actor. Like even since I was a little kid, I've always been a character actor. And I've been acting out movies since I was 3 because I had like a 90-year-old next door neighbor. So my next door neighbor's name was Mrs. Proudfoot, and her family was really rich and lived in a mansion, like just a little bit over from our regular normal size house. Her children owned the mansion, and she lived in a trailer at the very front of the property. And so I would go over to her trailer every day and act out whatever movie I saw on Sunday night, because every Sunday night there was like a cartoon movie. So I kind of always, I knew at the age of 3. I didn't know it was called acting, but I was playing characters since then. And so every time there was an opportunity to play character in school or whatever, I'm like, I can do that. I had things memorized and was reciting early on. I started writing my own sketches, forcing my sister in them, forcing the neighborhood in them. Like, I've always been a character actor. I've always been a sketch comedy human being, you know, love that improv. And then I did theater. I did a degree in theater. Didn't get cast because I'm like, the ingenue leading female characters bored the living hell out of me. And, you know, I'm old, right? I'm like in my 40s. So like my generation in my 20s, like they were really like white male written characters for young women. And so then I went into television and film, and the only interesting characters at that age, again, everything being written by older white men, were like hookers and drug addicts. They were the only interesting character roles. So I was always like, I'll play that drug addict. Yes. And then I was doing looping for television and film. And so I was working with a guy named Michael Dobson. If any of you know Michael Dobson, voice actor extraordinaire from Canada. And our very first job, well, my very first job, he had been doing it with this loop group for a while, was a 90s show called Outer Limits. It was a remake of the original Outer Limits. And the first episode I was looping had Alyssa Milano in it. And she had just gotten the ladies done.
Door. She
had just gotten the ladies done. It was her first real resurgence into the world since Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
And she had this sex scene where I had to do her breathing in this sex scene, and Michael had to do the gentleman, and they were like this, and I didn't know Michael at all, and we're Canadian, so extra awkward because Canadian is like being British, where we're super polite and like. So we went on this tour around the world. We mostly ended up in England because we definitely loved this part right here. So we started getting even more uptight, but pretending we were British. And then at the end, he was like, how come you're not doing cartoons? And it never occurred to me because I thought cartoon characters were real. Yeah. Like I thought Papa Smurf was actually Papa Smurf. Like nobody told me that they were actors. And I couldn't get it took a couple of weeks for the penny to drop. And then I got into cartoons. And my first job was Ed, Edd and Eddy, May Kanker and Naz and Ed, Edd and Eddy. It took a 6-month audition process. And then once I started acting, all of the characters I could be behind a microphone, that didn't matter what I looked like, that I could be male, female, it didn't matter. Like that was it for me. I was done. That was before they even had voices on video games. Like we didn't even have voices in video games. I'm that old, you know, like. It was, I knew I was in love.
How old can you be though if Mario was a voice in a video game? Mario and Luigi. And that was like since I was, you know, tiny. It's Mario.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
But like not video games like the ones we know today, but they were like the Yoshi was, you know.
Right. I think my first video game recording was for Kessen 2 in the late 90s. That was my first video game. Yeah. And then when I moved to America, then I started working in video games. Like that's when it really popped off for me. And I moved to LA in 2000.
Which is one of your favorite voices to do of all the beautiful people behind you. Which one when they say, "Oh, we're going to record some more of her or them or him," who do you get excited?
It always has to do with either that they make me laugh my pants off or their heart. So the biggest heart characters, like Chie Satonaka, she makes me pee myself laughing. The stuff that comes out of my face when I'm being her, it cracks me up.
Do you have to put on a diaper, like, so you don't pee yourself for real, you know?
You gotta eat more meat. I'm always afraid I'm gonna burp really loud when I'm Chie Satonaka because she basically does kung fu and eats a lot, so I can't help you.
But is that how she laughs? Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god!
She's a badass. She also really likes to eat meat. Wait, this one right here, this Genocide Jack, she's as close as I'm ever gonna get to a female Joker character. She's psychotic. Playing her it's so ridiculously fun and it's such an intense level. I really enjoyed being her. Ural, I loved because she connected with the spiritual part of me.
Wait, but you gotta give me tastes of that.
Hello? Right. Genocide Jack. I think this is a really nice place to be. Did you want me to kill you? I'd be happy to kill you.
OMG.
She's psychotic, so good. And Ural is, in the light we are all one. Come, we shall band together and move forward. Like, she was like a Joan of Arc character. And then there's Bo. Bo is basically like my Big Bird character. She's all love, she's all heart, but she really loves her friends. And she's kind of my favorite in the entire universe because she's really sweet and she wants everybody to be happy. But then sometimes she gets very excited or emotional. Oh, goodness. I love her so much. Like, I ended up in this show, Monster High and Ever After High. In Monster High, I played like 9 characters over the run of the series, right? So it started with 2, ended up 3, 4, 5, 6, and they just kept giving me more characters. And then from Monster High, they gave me the lead girl in Ever After High. And then once they give you a lead girl, they don't want to give you additional characters. Yeah. So hi, I'm Raven Queen. I'm daughter of the Evil Queen. And I think we can choose our own destiny. And I love her, and that was kind of her placement, and I'd never really been cast as a leading straight female, and she was such a badass, and I loved being her. Yeah. But I didn't get to play as many additional characters, and I love
having that. Playing the gamut. You know, you have such range. You can.
So I appreciate the women who are like stay in a lane and are able to carry, like Sissy is like leading lady material. You know, like she's like. She can carry the weight of the world, whereas I would be the annoying characters jumping in to totally irritate her. That's my thing.
So much fun. So how good is your Sombra?
Apagando las luces. Let me see. What we got?
Just squishing a bug.
Not quite.
Go again. I'm digging. I want it all.
I think you're in over your head.
So yes, what projects have you been working on that you can talk about, or are they all NDAs?
Oh, I can talk about stuff that I recorded in my closet, as I'm sure you are.
Yeah, in my closet.
It's wild to hear AAA content that you recorded in your closet, and I feel like our apartments or wherever we live in LA should have plaques saying this game was recorded in this closet and that the rent should go up if we leave. I recorded a bunch of I re-recorded all of the Sona content in League of Legends in my closet last year, and the additional Sona skin Psyop Sona, who is a lot darker. Yeah. And I was so excited about that. Because it was the writing is so good on those games, and now like the writers, it was so collaborative, it was so gorgeous. But there's 2 other games that have not been released yet that I have recorded in my closet that I'm really excited to talk about when it comes out.
Yes.
And I'm hoping more Storybots shows up. Storybots is now owned by Netflix. So there won't be content for another year, because Netflix has been, buying up the IP and getting everything Storybots, and we're doing a huge switch over to being 1,000% owned by Netflix. But so hopefully more Storybots content will be coming out. But that's not really for this age group. That's really for, although I disagree. I think everybody should watch Ask the Storybots, because I didn't know how airplanes fly. They answer a lot of serious questions.
That's awesome. I heard there's a one-woman Erin show.
Yes, there is.
Are you gonna plug it? And when can we see it on Zoom? What's the deal?
Well, we're still we got the rights from the WB for a temporary to be able to do it for a certain amount of performances, so that we can I guess get the bigger rights from the WB. But basically, it goes back to what I was saying. I used to act for Mrs. Proudfoot. I used to act out the Wizard of Oz for her. And I've basically been performing the Wizard of Oz since I was 3. So I finally, all of it, the whole movie. So what happened was, I don't know if you're a spiritual person at all, but Spirit was kicking me in the butt for a number of years. I've always known I had to do it properly do it. And I've always been like, no, that's too hard. It's impossible. That's like, turns out it's 28 characters for me and 80 pages of dialogue and it's not even the original movie because we couldn't, like it doesn't translate to a stage performance, the movie. So I had to completely adapt the script to make it, in that parody kind of realm where we could get the rights. We had to get the rights for the music. It's basically me doing a one-woman Wizard of Oz, no props, no costumes, no lighting, no music. Everything comes out of my face. Basically like
I love when you say that. My face.
Everything comes out of my face. Like so everything from like to like, what was it?
Oh, Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Well, pardon me, but could you tell me, are you a good witch or a bad witch? Oh, I'm afraid I'm not a witch at all. I'm Dorothy from Kansas.
This has been so inspiring and fun and exciting and enlightening. Thank you so much. Like, you're just so talented, dude. Where can people find you and follow your amazingness? And talk about your Twitch.
Oh yeah, Erin Fitzgerald. That's my name. That's my Twitch. Erin Fitzgerald. And on my Twitch page, you can get most of my social media. It's Erin Fitzgerald on Twitch, Erin Fitzgerald on Twitter. My website is Erin Fitz Badass, and my Instagram is Erin Fitz Badass. And then on my Twitch page, you can get to the Discord if you're a Discord human.
She's incredible. All the voices are just amazing. Let's keep in touch, dude. You're rad.
Yeah, for sure.
Your love for Sombra is so beautiful. Guys, keep booming and pooping!